The room is cold. No one is coming. The discipline you claim is still a fantasy you rehearse in your mind, while your body remains soft, uncommitted, dissolving into the same loop of delay and distraction. You speak of change, but your hands are idle. You speak of strength, but your mornings are surrender. Miyamoto Musashi walked alone for decades. He did not wait for clarity. He did not negotiate with comfort. He walked into the unknown with two swords, and the understanding that mastery is not a feeling. It is a pattern of action repeated until the self is no longer recognizable. He became steel because he refused the silk. You are not steel yet. You are still negotiating. The war is not outside. It is the moment between the alarm and the rising. It is the breath before the decision. It is the silence where you either move or justify stillness. Most people lose this war quietly, in private, where no one can see the retreat. But the retreat is total. It compounds. It becomes the architecture of your life. Musashi understood this. He did not write about motivation. He wrote about repetition. He did not celebrate emotion. He celebrated precision. His discipline was not a performance. It was a structure that required no audience, no applause, no validation. It simply was. You are addicted to the idea of becoming without the cost of change. You collect philosophies like ornaments. You listen to words about discipline and feel briefly elevated, as though hearing them completes something. It does not. The gap between knowing and doing is where most men die. Not literally, but the version of them that could have been something dies there, quietly in that gap. The mind is a flood. Thoughts arrive without permission. Desires surface. Distractions multiply. The undisciplined man believes the mind is the problem. The disciplined man understands that the mind is simply weather. You do not control weather. You move through it. Musashi did not wait for his mind to be still before he trained. He trained until the noise became irrelevant. Stillness is not the absence of chaos. Stillness is action in the presence of chaos. You do not find peace by removing obstacles. You find it by walking through them until they no longer define you. Consider the swordsman. His first year is clumsy. His strikes are hesitant. His body resists the form, but he returns. He does not return because he feels like it. He returns because the return itself is the practice. Feeling is irrelevant. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is the structure that remains when the visitor leaves. Musashi did not become Musashi because he was inspired. He became Musashi because he refused to stop when inspiration left. And inspiration always leaves. You think mastery is a destination. It is not. Mastery is the elimination of everything unnecessary. It is not addition. It is subtraction. The warrior removes hesitation. The writer removes decoration. The thinker removes distortion. What remains is sharp, clear, undeniable. Most people cannot bear this. They prefer complexity. Complexity allows them to hide. If the path is convoluted, they can claim they are lost, rather than admit they are afraid. But the path is not convoluted. It is brutal in its simplicity. Do the thing. Repeat the thing. Remove everything that is not the thing. Musashi lived this. He did not build a school surrounded by students. He walked mountains. He fought in silence. He refined his technique in isolation, because isolation is where illusion dies. You cannot lie to yourself when no one is watching. Or rather, you can, but the consequences arrive faster. The modern world is designed to prevent this confrontation. Every discomfort can be medicated. Every silence can be filled. Every moment of potential discipline can be replaced with a screen, a distraction, a soft escape. And so you never meet yourself. You never sit in the cold room and realize that the person you have been is not the person you are capable of becoming. Musashi sat in that room, not once, 10,000 times. And each time, he chose the harder thing, not because it felt good, because it was true. You will not change by accumulating techniques. You will not transform by reading more, watching more, consuming more. You will change when you stop, when you remove the excess, when you sit in silence and admit that you have been running, not towards something, away from discomfort. The sword must be sharpened, but first the blade must be willing to meet the stone. Most blades refuse. They remain dull, decorative, untested. They are carried but never drawn. And when the moment comes, when life demands precision, they fail. Not because they were weak, because they were never prepared. Musashi prepared in every moment. His life was not divided into training and rest. It was one continuous sharpening. Every step, every breath, every encounter was part of the way. He did not wait for the right time. He made every time the right time by refusing distraction. You are distracted, not occasionally, constantly. Your attention is fractured. Your energy is scattered. You believe you are busy, but you are simply diffused. The disciplined man consolidates. He does not do 10 things poorly. He does one thing until it is undeniable. This requires sacrifice. Real sacrifice. Not the poetic kind, the kind where you lose friends because you stop participating in what no longer serves you. The kind where you become strange to others because you are no longer willing to be soft. The kind where you sit alone more often than you sit in company, and you accept that loneliness is the price of clarity. Musashi was alone, by choice, because company dilutes, comfort weakens, approval corrupts. He needed none of it. He needed only the way. And the way is not warm. It does not congratulate. It does not accommodate. It simply is. You either walk it or you do not. Most do not. They circle it. They study it. They talk about it. But they do not walk it. Because walking it means you can no longer pretend. You can no longer blame circumstance. You can no longer hide behind complexity. The way reveals you. And most people cannot bear what it reveals. It reveals that you are capable of more than you are doing. It reveals that your suffering is optional. It reveals that the life you are living is a negotiation with fear, and you have been losing that negotiation for years. Musashi did not negotiate. He eliminated negotiation. He set a standard and met it, every day, without exception. And when he failed, he did not justify. He corrected, immediately. No delay, no excuse. Correction was immediate because delay is death. You delay everything. You delay the hard conversation. You delay the difficult work. You delay the confrontation with your own mediocrity. And in that delay, you become the delay. You are no longer a person moving towards something. You are a person avoiding everything. The master does not avoid. The master meets. He meets discomfort. He meets failure. He meets himself in the mirror and does not look away. This is not courage. This is necessity. Because without this meeting, there is no growth. There is only repetition of the same soft patterns that have already failed you. Musashi met himself 10,000 times. In battle, in solitude, in the silence of a mountain cave where no one could save him from his own mind. And in those meetings, he shed everything false. He became precise. He became undeniable. Not because he was born that way, because he chose it. Every day, without applause. You want applause. You want recognition. You want someone to see your effort and tell you it matters. But the way you are living now guarantees that no one will. Because your effort is invisible. It is hypothetical. It exists in your mind, in your plans, in your conversations about what you will do. But it does not exist in reality. Reality is action. Reality is the thing done, not the thing discussed. Musashi did not discuss. He acted, and his action was so consistent, so undeniable, that it became legend. Not because he sought legend, because he sought mastery. And mastery, when real, cannot be ignored. You are being ignored because you are ignorable. Not because you lack potential, because you lack consistency. You are brilliant for 3 days and absent for 30. You are disciplined in bursts and soft in the long stretches. And so you remain undefined. You remain potential. And potential without action is nothing. The strike must land. Not eventually. Now. The decision must be made. The move must be executed. The discomfort must be entered, or nothing changes. You simply remain the person who almost did something. Musashi was not the person who almost did something. He was the person who did, over and over, until the doing became his nature, until discipline was not a choice, but a reflex, until the path and the man were the same thing. You are not there yet, but you can be. Not through inspiration, through repetition, not through motivation, through structure, not through feeling, through action. The room is still cold. No one is coming, and that is exactly as it should be. You must meet yourself there, in that cold room, in that silence, in that absence of comfort, and you must decide whether you will continue negotiating with weakness or whether you will become something else. Musashi became something else, not because it was easy, because it was necessary. And now the question is whether you will do the same. The path is clear. It has always been clear. The only question is whether you will walk it.